Hi, my name is Martin. I'm from RevCam UK, Reversing Cameras UK Limited. Now, the wireless reversing camera kit that uses the bracket camera. Now, I've got the black one up on display, but the white version is exactly the same, just painted slightly differently. Now, as you can see, it's got the night vision IRs. It's got a stainless steel bracket, so you don't have to worry about it rusting. This goes to a 4-pin disconnect point. I haven't got it tightened up at the moment, but you would normally tighten it up. I'm running it onto an extension lead just so I'm able to show you it today. So that extension lead will plug into a wire coming out of the wrong box into the transmitter box. It's a WB60TX. It's a 60-meter digital wireless box that will basically talk to the receiver box. Now that isn't 60 meters. In real life conditions we expect a good 30 meters or so by the time you put a bunch of metal in the way. It does a really good job. People are always shocked at how good the range is. And as I say, we've used it on really long vehicles and they're still getting sort of almost full signal, or even on the longest vehicle. So you've got an inline power 3 amp blade fuse inside that on the waterproof connection. You've got a red wire, which is obviously your plus 12 or 24 volts. It will work on both. So good for on sort of 12 volt vehicles like you on your caravans and your 12 volt trailers, as well as 24 volt vehicles like lorries and HGVs. Now obviously the black is an earth connection, so all you have to do on the rear is just connect it up. And that box will basically then use that power to power up that camera down the all-in-one 4-pin screw locking connector cable. And now this is your receiver box, the WB60RX. So it will basically plug into one of the 2 inputs on our Mon 16 7-inch monitor. Now this is a monitor we've used for many years. I've actually got it on the standard bracket, but I know a lot of people, they do end up going for something like a suction mount or a slightly different ball joint version, a heavy duty mount, or the quick release mount, which obviously has a little bit that just pops off. So you put this on the back of the monitor and it literally just pops off whenever you want to. So this is the wide angle version. So when in the listing, you can obviously select whether you wanted wide, general use for parking and whatnot, and that's the sort of spread it gives you. It's still popular, even when people are using them as rear view, because it gives you that extra spread to the sides. But I will quickly take out this camera and put in the narrow angle version, just so you're able to see the difference. Well, I've changed it to the narrow angle camera. It uses the 8mm lens instead. As you can see, it's more zoomed in, so obviously that car there is about 4 foot away. So if you're trying to use it as a parking camera, be aware that if you've got it mounted high up, so this camera's obviously mounted above our door, and that car is 4 foot away, and it's a little bit tricky to use it as a parking aid. You do obviously miss it out, which is why, if that is a concern to you, then select the wide angle general purpose view. I'll quickly mention a few other things. Obviously, you notice there's a second input that's got nothing on at the moment. You can obviously put this to another camera. A lot of people, they like a hitch-up camera or something similar on their vehicle. So they end up just buying a 4-pin camera and buying a 4-pin cable and just basically hooking the 2 bits up. It's a really nice picture. Obviously, it's got the Sony CCD image sensors on the camera itself. As I say, the build quality is really good. We give you a 2-year guarantee. We do carry spare boards and everything and spare parts. So if, for example, you decide you're buying a new car, you don't want to take this out, you want to save yourself a bit of time, you just give us a phone call and tell us, oh, can you get a wiring harness for a Mon 16? We can do that. We try and do that and keep spare parts for many, many years. even if we become end of line. But we try and keep when we've got something decent, we try and keep it going for as long as we can. We don't chop and change for whatever's cheapest. So really nice, obviously a high res digital panel screen. So if you, I forgot to mention that we can normally do low cost repairs beyond a 2-year guarantee period. You know, as long as they don't always respond, but we'll obviously do our best, and if not, we try and do a bit of a discount if we're unable to on a replacement. But yeah, if you want to have a look, obviously that's the DW61B or DW61W. The B is for black, W is for white.